Hello everyone, and welcome back again to my channel. In this video, I'm going to cover two essential, actually the last two letters for general IELTS writing task 1 essays. As you all know, I have uploaded several videos talking and explaining and showing you all the other types of letters for the general IELTS writing task 1 essays. I have already covered apology letters, explanation letters, complaint letters, and also I did also show you the request letter. In this video, I'm going to go through invitation letter, arrangement, and application or resignation letter. Okay, so these are the last types of letters for IELTS writing task 1 essays general test version. Okay, so I want you please to stick around till the end and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and activate the bell button to help receive all my upcoming uploads. So in the invitation letter, as you can see, invitations are one of the 7 common IELTS letter writing topics. In this lesson, I show you how to write an invitation letter step by step. Here is what the lesson includes: the question structure, letter structure, formal or informal, greeting and sign off, generating ideas, and sample letters. So we have, as you can see, all questions for IELTS letters have the same structure. They are made up of 3 parts: the topic, the person you must write to, and what you should write about, and that's usually listed in the 3 bullet points. Okay, so for example, we have this question here. You are organizing a seminar for your company. Write a letter to the manager of another department, inviting them to give a presentation at the seminar. In your letter, give details of the seminar, invite them to give a presentation and say why you are inviting them, and say what the presentation should be about. As you can see, we have 3 bullet points, and that's how a letter, that's how the question comes. Always we have 3 bullet points. Okay, so as you can see, so we have the topic and who you should write to and what you should write about. So you need to actually focus on these 3 points. So as you can see, IELTS letter writing topics, invitation and question. So understanding this will help you to quickly analyze the question and help you answer, to help you plan use the letter structure below. So I'm going to show you the letter structure. The layout of your letter should follow the structure of the question and consist of 4 paragraphs with a greeting at the beginning and a sign off at the end. So use this easy to remember 6-part structure. Okay. So we are going to use this 6-part structure, starting by dear, and that's the greeting. And then we have paragraph 1, which is the purpose sentence. You have to write why are you writing the letter. For example, I am writing to blah, blah, blah. And then we have paragraph 2, 3, 4. Paragraph 3, answering the first bullet point of the question. Paragraph 3, answering the second bullet point of the question. And paragraph 4, answering the third bullet point of the question. And finally, we have the sign off, where you state, for example, in the sign off, kind regards, or yours faithfully, or yours sincerely, or if you are writing to a friend, you could say keep in touch, or the best, see you soon, whatever. Okay, so now before we move on, let me just explain to you the 2 kinds of letters. So if you've watched my previous videos, I have already explained the difference between formal and informal letters. So IELTS letters must be written in the appropriate tone and style. There are 2 options. We have formal if you are writing to someone that you don't know or don't know well, and informal if you are writing to a friend. So it's essential that you are able to identify what type of question you are required to write. So you need to follow this rule. If the question includes the word friend, use informal language. If the question does not include the word friend, then use formal language. Okay, so as you can see here, and now let's move to the greeting. Okay, so the greeting, that's how you actually start the essay, and that's the most important part, so you have to know how are you going to begin the letter. So there are 2 ways you begin, or you can begin a formal letter. You can start by dear sir or madam if you don't know the name of the person you are writing to, or you can start by dear plus surname if you do know the name. For example, dear Mr. Smith or dear Mrs. Jones. So that's, as you can see, the dear plus the surname. Okay, so you would know the name of a manager from another department in your workplace. So make up a surname for them. So now I'm going back to the question, because as you know, we have to actually write a letter inviting a manager from another department to a seminar. So assumingly or presumably, we know the name of the manager in this letter. So if you were writing an informal invitation letter to a friend, you would use the first name only, okay? So you have to know the difference between formal letter and informal letters. If you see the word friend in the actual question, then it's an informal letter. So then you start by dear, the first name of the receiver, and then you end the letter by, for example, keep in touch, and then your first name only. Okay, for example, dear Joanne. Okay, so the greeting you use will determine how you sign off your letter. The sign off. For the formal letter, there are two main options. The correct one will depend on who you are addressing, okay? So if you, for example, start the letter by dear Mr. Smith, which is a known name, then you will have to end the letter by yours sincerely. If you start the letter by dear Sir, Madam, which is an unknown name, then you have to end by yours faithfully. Okay, so you have to know the difference between them. So I'm now talking about formal letter only. You could also use, by the way, kind regards if you forget about yours sincerely and yours faithfully, okay? So you don't have to stick to these ones, because many people, actually many students confuse yours sincerely and yours faithfully, okay? So if you don't know how to use them in the appropriate way, you can just replace them by kind regards, okay? And if you are writing an informal letter, as you can see in here, you don't have to end the letter by kind regards or yours faithfully or yours sincerely, because you are not being formal in the letter. You are writing to someone that you know very well, a friend. So you can just end the letter by all the best, see you soon, and keep in touch. For example, see you soon, Jackie, and you only have to write your first name, okay? But in the formal letter, you will have to actually write your full name, okay? You can't write your first name only. For example, in this letter, for our letter, we will use this greeting and sign off. So I'm going to start the letter by dear Mr. Evans, and I'm going to end the letter by yours sincerely, Jackie Spear. As you can see, yours sincerely, because I mentioned the name in the beginning. So I have to end by yours sincerely, or simply kind regards. So now we are ready to start thinking about how to generate ideas for IELTS letters. So you only have to write about 150 words, okay? So you only have to write 150 words in like 20 minutes, you know? You only have 20 minutes for writing task one. So you won't need many ideas, but do make sure that you write about each bullet point and develop each idea fully. They don't have to be the best ideas you can possibly think of. Go with your first thoughts and don't waste time trying to think of better ideas. However, they must relate directly to the bullet points. Note them beside each bullet point on the exam paper like this. For example, the first question, the one that says, okay, so let me just repeat the question again. It says, you are organizing a seminar for your company. Write a letter to the manager of another department, inviting them to give a presentation at the seminar. In your letter, give details of the seminar. For example, I'm going to mention something about safety at work. So that's what you have to do. You need to just try to take some notes next to every single question to be able to elaborate on this answer when you start writing the paragraphs. The second question that says invite them to give a presentation and say why you are inviting them. So I'm going to mention that I'm going to invite the warehouse manager because he's the most highly trained person in the company. And for the third bullet point or the third question that says say what the presentation should be about. So I'm going to talk about manual handling. So that's our planning complete. Once you've had some practice, you will be able to do this in just a few minutes. Taking time to plan makes writing IELTS letters far quicker and easier than if you don't do this step. you will also write a better letter and get higher marks. So now we are now ready to start writing our letter. So as you can see, we've already thought about the answers of every single question. Now we need to start paragraph 1, which is the purpose sentence, the first sentence, the purpose sentence. So don't miss out the purpose sentence. Purpose sentence is very important to write, okay? It only requires one sentence, so you don't miss it out. Otherwise you would lose marks, because you have to start the letter by showing the examiner what is your intention of writing this letter, what is the purpose of this letter. For example, let's see this example purpose sentence. I am writing to tell you about a training event I am organizing for the morning of Tuesday, 7th February. As you can see, most invitation letters, you have to mention an exact date. It doesn't have to be very exact, but you will have you will have to mention, or you would have to mention an exact date or a date in the actual purpose sentence, because you are inviting someone to a specific event. So most probably, or the majority of invitation letters have to have a specific date in the actual purpose sentence. And do not use contractions in formal letters. They are informal language. So do not write, I'm writing to tell you. You have to say I am, not okay? It's a formal letter. So don't forget this tip. Don't use contractions in your formal letter. You can't say his. No, you have to say he is. You can't say she's, she is. Okay, so you have to be careful and try to remember this very important advice. Now, for the second paragraph, which is the answer of the first bullet point that says give details of the seminar. So let's just remember to keep the language formal, and you could write something like this. Let's read it together. The seminar is on the issue of safety at work. Several people in the company have been injured recently while doing their job, and the management believes that this is because they are either not aware of safety procedures or do not follow them. Consequently, they feel that more training is needed. Okay, so that's the answer of the first question. Now moving to paragraph 3, which is the answer of the second bullet point that says invite them to give a presentation and say why you are inviting them. So let's see. As warehouse manager, you hold many certificates in workplace safety, and I would be grateful if you would be prepared to share some of this knowledge and make a presentation during this seminar. I suggest that it should last for around 45 minutes. Okay, so that's the answer of the second bullet point. Now moving to the last question, which is the answer for the third bullet point that says, say what the presentation should be about. So let's read the answer here. The subject I would like you to talk about, so here, the subject I would like you to talk about is manual handling. Back injuries are the most common safety issue, so need a particular focus. A practical session where people can practice good lifting techniques would be ideal. Ideal means perfect. If you are able to do this, please let me know what resources you would need so that I can provide them for you. And now that's it. As you can see, that's the full version of the letter. As you can see, we started by dear Mr. Evans. So that's the greeting. And then we have the purpose sentence in here. Let me just use something better to... No, the spotlight here. Okay, so as you can see, we have the purpose sentence and in this one here, and then we have the paragraph number 2, which is the answer of the first bullet point, and that's the second bullet point, and that's the third bullet point, and then we have an ending sentence here. So you can always have an ending sentence if you want, that would beautify your essay or your letter. For example, I look forward to receiving your reply. Okay, don't forget to actually, after I look forward to, the verb has to be in ing form. Okay, don't forget that many people make the mistake and say, I look forward to receive your reply. You can't say that. It has to be, I look forward to receiving. So the verb after I look forward to has to be in ing form. Okay, so that's an ending sentence, and then we have the sign off, yours sincerely, and then your full name, and we've reached about 191 words. So we are on the safe side, and because you have to write at least 150 words. So that's the invitation letter. We have a practice question here. As you can see, you can do this by yourself, by the way, so you can practice it. And if you want, you can do this and write it down in the comment section below, or you can send it to me on Instagram or anywhere on my social media, and I can get back to you and correct it and mark it for you. Okay, don't worry about it. So you can screenshot this one and try to do it yourself. Okay, so that's an example of an invitation letter, and I assume that's an informal letter because you are writing to a friend, so you don't have to be formal in this letter. Okay, moving now to another type of letters, which is the arrangement letter, how to write a letter to make an arrangement. So let's see an example question of an arrangement letter. We have this one here. You want to book a hotel recommended to you for the family holiday at the seaside. Write a letter to the hotel manager to make arrangements. Explain what accommodation you require and when you want to stay. Ask what will be included in the price, and then we have inquire about activities and places of interest near the hotel. So it's an arrangement letter, as you can see. So now let's think about, so as you can see, it's a formal letter. Okay, so based on the question, I'm writing to the manager of the hotel. I don't know him. Okay, even if I know him, I don't know him that well. So I assume it's a formal letter. Okay, so it's not an informal letter. So I have to make or to actually make my language sound formal. Okay, so let's just move on the section on how to take some notes next to every single question before I start writing. So for the first question that says explain what accommodation you require and when you want to stay, I'm going to mention something about double room and twin room for 2 sons. Ask what will be included in the price. I'm going to ask about the breakfast, pool, gym, and spa. And for the third question that says inquire about activities and places of interest near the hotel, I'm going to ask about some walks and historic buildings. As you can see, I've taken some notes next to every single question, so I would be more ready when I start writing. Okay, so for the first sentence, that's the purpose sentence. And the purpose sentence, you will have to show the examiner why are you writing the letter. So let's actually read together the purpose sentence. A friend has recommended your excellent hotel, and I am writing to inquire about vacancies in April next year. Amazing. It's an amazing purpose sentence. So I have just written, why am I writing this letter? Now, for the second paragraph, which is the answer of the first question that says, explain your accommodation needs and when you want to stay. So let's read the example answer together. We would like to stay from 5th to 11th April and require 2 ensuite rooms, a double for myself and my husband, and a twin room for our 2 teenage sons. Sea views would be preferable. Amazing. When you have ensuite rooms means 2 connected rooms. Okay, so it's an amazing answer for the first question. Now the second question that says ask what the price includes. Let's read together. I have been told that you do a very good breakfast. Please, could you let me know if it's included in the price? My friend has also informed me that you have a lovely swimming pool, a well-equipped gym, and spa facilities. Is there any extra charge for using these? If so, I would be grateful if you could send me details. Okay, as you can see, we have some question marks in the paragraph because you have to ask about the price. So it's okay to mention some questions, okay? Now for the last question, which is the third bullet point that says, inquire about activities and places of interest nearby. So let's see the example answer together. We are all keen walkers and have to do some hiking while we are staying with you. Do you have any maps or guidebooks available for guests to borrow? My husband and I also enjoy visiting historic houses. Are there any in the area that you could recommend? As you can see, it's an amazing answer for the third bullet point. Now we have the full letter. As you can see, we have, let me just move this. As you can see here, we have the greeting, dear Mrs. Hansen. We have the purpose sentence here, the 3 paragraphs answering every single bullet point. And then we have an ending sentence here. It's a beautiful ending sentence. It's quite long, but it's still okay. It says, I look forward to receiving your reply and to confirming our booking if these dates are available. So it's a beautiful ending sentence. It's okay to be that long. It doesn't matter, okay? And then we have the sign off that says yours sincerely and then your full name. Okay, and as you can see, we've reached 190 words and we are on the safe side. We've covered all the questions, and that's the most important thing. And as you can see, it's a beautiful structure. We have some separate paragraphs and we have a beautiful purpose sentence and a very clear greeting and sign off. Okay, so that's the most important thing when writing any letter. Now we have a practice question here, as you can see. Okay, so you can practice this practice question if you want by yourself. So you can do it by yourself, and you can, if you want, write it down in the comment section below. Okay. So if you want, by the way, you can do this one, and I guess it's an informal letter because you are writing to a friend. Okay, so you don't have to use a formal language in your essay. So if you want, try to read this very well, and you can send me the answer or the letter down in the section, in the comment section below, or you can go to my Instagram or any social media account, and I would reply to you personally answering all of these. Okay. Now let's move to another type, which is the last type of letters. It's not quite familiar, by the way, you know, to have this kind of letters in the exam, because especially the resignation one. But I would show you an example question of an application letter, but you could have it. I was talking about the resignation letter. Resignation letter, maybe sometimes it's not that common to have, but you could have it too. Okay, so let's just start by reading this question. So it says, you would like a job working in a summer camp, which runs sports and outdoor activities for children and young people. Write a letter to the organizer of the summer camp. In your letter, describe your personality, say what relevant experience and skills you have, and explain what sort of work you would like to do. So as you can see, you are applying for a job. So it's an application letter. So you might have this kind of questions in the exam. Okay, so let's actually see the example answers together. So as you all know, I'm going to skip a lot of information because I'm not going to repeat myself, but I'm going just to move to the generation of ideas. That's the most important section for me. As you all know, we have to always take notes next to every single question of the actual letter before writing the essay. Okay, so you have to familiarize yourself with the answer. So for example, for the first question that says describe your personality, I'm going to describe myself as outgoing, fun-loving, and energetic. And for the second question that says say what relevant experience and skills you have, I'm going to mention that I am a scout leader, qualified instructor, kayaking and climbing, and explain what sort of work you would like to do. I'm going to lead group activities and campfire cooking. So I'm interested in these two activities or in these two sorts of work. Okay, so now let's just jump to the first sentence of the paragraph, which is the purpose sentence. So let's actually read it together. So, okay, here we go. So that's the purpose sentence. I would like to apply for a position at your Devon summer camp this year. So I just made up the number of the name of the camp, Devon summer camp. Okay, so I just made it up. You can make up things, by the way. Okay, so the first question that says describe your personality, let's see the answer. I am an outgoing person with lots of energy and a great sense of fun and adventure. I show dedication and a high level of responsibility in everything I do, and I'm known for being very reliable. Furthermore, I am confident working on my own, but equally enjoy being part of a team. So it's an amazing answer for the first question. Now, the second bullet point that says, say what relevant experience and skills you have. Let's see the answer. I have many relevant skills to offer. These include level 4 instructor certificates for both kayaking and climbing, as well as being an experienced dinghy sailor. I was a scout leader for 2 years before going to university and was popular with and respected by all the boys and girls in our pack. In our pack means in our group. So it's an amazing answer for the second bullet point. And then for the third one or the last one, explain what sort of work you would like to do. Let's see. I am especially interested in being an activity leader at the summer camp, but would consider any position appropriate to my skills and experience. Amazing sentence here. I would also be willing to organize and lead campfire cooking session several evenings a week, as this is another passion of mine and always a favorite with kids. Amazing. And now we can have an ending sentence. As you can see here, I thank you for your consideration and look forward to hearing from you. So let's see the full version of the letter. As you can see, dear sir, madam, we have the purpose sentence, 3 paragraphs answering every single bullet point. And then we have an ending sentence here. I just read it for you. And then we have the sign off, which is yours faithfully, Jack Spade. As you can see, yours faithfully, because I start by dear sir or madam. If you start the letter by dear sir or madam, you have to end by yours faithfully or kind regards, whatever you want. And definitely your full name, because you are writing to someone you don't know. Okay, now we have this practice question, as you can see. So this practice question, I think you won't be able to do it yourself, or maybe you are able, because I just showed you how to apply for the job, but I didn't show you how to apply for resignation. So this question says, you have decided to leave your current employment. Write a letter to your employer. In the letter, explain why you have decided to leave the company. Tell your employer what you plan to do after leaving your present employment, and say what you have gained from working for the company. So it's a typical resignation letter. And I think if you have the question, you can actually try to follow or try to use the wordings in this specific letter, okay? So we are going to read this together. So dear Davis, I am writing to inform you of my resignation from my position as sales manager effective from 31st October. So we have the purpose sentence in here, okay? And you can follow the structure. I'm writing to inform you of my resignation from my position as blah, blah, blah. So I just made up a position, effective from 31st October. How beautiful and how straightforward and how accurate is the purpose sentence. And that's what you have to do, okay? Now, it says, this has been a very difficult decision for me to make as I enjoy my work. However, I feel that it is time for a change and want to set up a business with my brother, something we have always dreamed of doing. A recent inheritance from our father means that we now have the finances to make this a reality. So as you can see, that was the answer for the first question that says, explain why you have decided to leave the company, because I have inherited money from my father. It's okay, and I have explained everything. Now for the second bullet point that says, tell your employer what you plan to do after leaving your present employment. Let's see the answer. We have identified a gap in the market for high quality wooden furniture for children. My brother is a carpenter and joiner, so we'll run the workshop while I will be in charge of sales and marketing, using many of the skills I have learned while working for Activisto. So he made up the company. He made up the name of the company he's leaving, or he's resigning, okay, right now. And then the last bullet point that says, say what you have gained from working for the company. Let's see what he's going to write. I would like to thank you in particular for encouraging me to step into a management role in the company. Your belief in my abilities gave me the confidence to move far beyond my comfort zone and achieve more than I ever thought possible. It is because of this that I believe I can succeed in my own business. I wish you and the company a successful future. As you can see, it's a beautiful ending sentence. Yours sincerely, Jack Spear, and we've reached about 202 words. And that's all, okay? And that's the end for the letters. Okay, so as you can see, we've done. I have, I'm done my best in showing you, and I have uploaded a lot of videos talking and showing you all types of letters. I hope that you have found all my previous videos useful, as well as this one as well. And please, guys, if you have any questions, let me know down in the comment section below. I did my best in simplifying the best strategy for you to score high, or like to score 7+ and 8 at least in Ielts Writing Task 1 Essays General Test version. Okay, guys, so that's the end for the letters. That was the last video for IELTS Writing Task 1 Essays General Test version. And guys, if you please have any questions, let me know it down in the comment section below. I thank you very much for sticking around to the whole video. And please, guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and activate the bell button to help receive all my upcoming uploads. I wish you all the best, and I look forward to having you again on my platform. Okay, guys, so thanks again, and don't forget to activate the bell button, and don't forget to always keep watching my videos. I'm going to upload a lot of useful videos for you. Have a beautiful day.